Weapons of mass destruction, biological, chemical, nuclear, or radiological, are among today's most feared creations, capable of wiping out millions and devastating entire ecosystems. But what if such horrors aren't uniquely modern? Could ancient societies have harnessed similarly devastating forces? From mythic poison arrows to the deliberate spread of plague, history hints at technologies and tactics that blur the line between folklore and proto-weapons of mass destruction. In this journey, we'll explore legends and scant archaeological evidence suggesting our ancestors may have wielded weapons every bit as catastrophic as those we fear today. Prepare to re-examine familiar tales of heroes, empires, and divine fury with fresh eyes, as we ask, were the great powers of old unknowingly setting the stage for humanity's most dangerous innovations? Consider the Lernaean Hydra, slain by Hercules, whose poisonous blood became the Bronze Age's ultimate bioweapon. According to folklorist Adrian Mayer, Hercules dipped his arrows in the creature's venom, then unleashed them upon monsters and foes alike. These toxic arrows spread death silently, from Geryon to the Stymphalian birds, becoming mythical precedents for chemical warfare. Whether or not a multi-headed serpent ever existed, the story reflects a chilling awareness. A single shot, imbued with lethal poison, could decimate enemy ranks without a clash of blades. It's a sobering reminder that humans have long dreamed of amplifying force through chemistry and biology, transforming conflict into an exercise in unseen dread. Across Anatolia, the Hittite Empire institutionalized biological terror with chilling pragmatism. Instead of conventional assaults, Hittite commanders reportedly dispatched plague-stricken captives across enemy frontiers, weaponizing disease to subjugate rivals. As illness fanned through settlements, entire communities succumbed to fever and delirium, opening gates to conquering armies. This strike-first doctrine illustrates a grim calculus. Using living carriers as vectors, early generals achieved mass casualties while minimizing their own troop losses. Though documented references are sparse, the Hittite approach foreshadows modern biowarfare strategies, relying on contagion rather than cannon, to topple civilizations, leaving lingering questions about the ethics of biological weapons that resonate millennia later. In Genesis, the obliteration of Sodom and Gomorrah is framed as divine justice, meaning brimstone and fire raining from the heavens. Yet some scholars suggest this may describe an ancient weapon or cataclysm, not merely a moral parable. Brimstone, or sulfur, evokes volcanic fury, but no volcanic evidence exists near the presumed sites. Could the devastation have stemmed from something else? An aerial explosion, a meteor strike, or even advanced weaponry lost to time? Lot's wife turning into a pillar of salt may symbolize flash incineration, petrification, or exposure to unknown forces. The scale and suddenness of the destruction mirror descriptions of modern atomic events. Was this ancient narrative an early attempt to explain a blast so powerful it scarred memory and myth alike? Whether divine punishment or prehistoric Armageddon, the fall of these cities suggests that even in antiquity, civilizations faced forces capable of total annihilation. Natural disasters have often been mistaken for weapons of mass destruction. Fiery meteors that ignite forests, shockwaves shattering stone, and volcanic eruptions that spew sulfuric clouds darkening the sun. In the absence of modern science, ancient storytellers described these cataclysms as divine wrath or supernatural siege weapons. Hieroglyphs portray cities encircled by rings of flame, clay tablets warn of sky fire, and fields blanketed in bone-white ash. Early cartographers marked territories as permanently cursed, where survivors fled desolate landscapes. Today, geologists examine layers of volcanic debris and impact craters to tell meteor strikes from nuclear blasts, while volcanologists study sulfur-rich deposits once seen as evidence of divine firestorms. By aligning mythic imagery with geological evidence, we're always striving to separate nature's fury from deliberate annihilation. South Asian epics brim with descriptions of vimanas, winged craft armed with weapons that sound eerily modern. In the Ramayana, hero Rama's foe unleashes a rocket charged with the power of the universe, igniting a blaze brighter than 10,000 suns. Later, the Mahabharata describes an iron thunderbolt that turned soldiers to dust, their hair and nails falling out, a vivid portrait of radiation sickness. These passages read like eyewitness accounts of nuclear strikes, yet predate our first reactors by thousands of years. Skeptics chalk them up to allegory, but the precision of the descriptions, mushroom clouds, instant incineration, toxic fallout, urges us to consider a deeper truth, that the impulse to harness and deploy energy for mass destruction may be as old as civilization itself, encoded in myth and memory. From earliest history to modern day, humanity has sought ever more efficient means to kill en masse. From plague-infested carcasses flung over city walls to catapults hurling live scorpions, technology has merely amplified our oldest impulses. Modern WMDs, including chemical agents, radiological bombs, and engineered viruses, are descendants of these primitive siege weapons. Each new leap sparks moral reckoning, such as treaties outlawing chemical warfare, protocols limiting biological research, and nuclear nonproliferation pacts. Yet history teaches that bans alone cannot erase the desire for ultimate weaponry. As we enter an era of CRISPR-edited pathogens and autonomous drones, looking back at past examples can guide us and also remind us that any miracle weapon requires strict ethical guardrails, or it risks turning tools meant for protection into engines of our own destruction. Be it the wrath of gods, cosmic upheaval, or forces long forgotten, ancient tales of cities leveled by fire and plague suggest we're not the first to flirt with annihilation. Could early civilizations have stumbled upon powers they couldn't contain, or been erased by forces still unexplained? Sites like Ur and Mohenjo-Daro raise unsettling questions. Sudden collapse, heat-scarred ruins, remains frozen mid-flight. These aren't mere victims of time, they hint at precise, devastating events with no clear cause. But the real story may lie in what was lost. The ancients left behind scorched texts, impact craters, and enduring myths shaped by fear and awe. These myths persist not merely to explain the past, but to caution the future. Today, as we forge our own tools of immense power, the echoes of the past remind us, it's not the weapons that define a civilization, but the legacy they leave behind. So, what do you believe? Were these ancient accounts symbolic warnings, distorted memories, or glimpses into a forgotten science? Could we be walking the same path, armed with power, but blind to consequence? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If this journey made you question what's myth, what's memory, and what might still lie buried, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Join us next time on the Late Night Hour, where we shine a light on the shadows that haunt our world.